Welcome to Ink and Fitness. For those who are new to my channel, my name is Anthony. I am someone who went from skinny to fit, and these videos are purely educational. So this way, if you are also a skinny guy, someone who's looking to bulk in a more efficient way, then you can take what you're learning inside these videos, take consistent action, and get the results that you desire. If you are someone though who's looking for one-to-one coaching, a more personalized approach when it comes to all this with a lot of support, a lot of accountability in place so that way you don't fall off track of your fitness goals, then please be sure to click the link down below in the description and we'll see if private coaching is a fit for you. But enough about that. Let's get straight into the video for today. We're going to be talking about the most effective way to bulk for muscle growth. So let's get right into things here. Now, it's important you know the different types of bulk, and there's really two main kinds of bulk. Number one is lean bulking, and secondly is dirty bulking. The only thing that differentiates the two from one another is that lean bulk is essentially where you eat slightly above your maintenance calories, and dirty bulking is when you eat um, large amounts of calories above your maintenance calories, is the best way that I can put it. So as you can see on the screen here, I put eat everything in sight mentality. And so with that being said, typically those with the eat everything in mind or everything in sight mentality usually eat thousands and thousands of calories above their maintenance calories. So to get real specific though about lean bulking specifically, yes, it is the most effective way to bulk in my opinion, just because you're not going to gain any unnecessary fat if you were, opposed if you were to go to, or if you were to do a dirty bulk. You'll also remain relatively toned if you do lean bulking. It makes your bulk a lot more sustainable and enjoyable, and you won't feel like shit, which is the most important part. Because when you dirty bulk and you're weeks deep into doing that, eating a lot of junk food, a lot of shitty food for you, not only do you feel shitty, but you essentially you can barely walk for 20 minutes without running out of breath, or climbing up a flight of stairs without running out of breath. Essentially, you're not cardiovascularly what you used to be, and that can really take a toll on your mindset, on your mental, right? You start to question yourself if this bulk is even worth it. If you're wasting your time, what are you doing? You feel like shit, you look like shit. But in reality, the most effective way to bulk is doing a lean bulk, right? You just chose a route that's not the most beneficial for you with what you're trying to achieve as far as goals goes. Because dirty bulking is fine if you are someone simply just looking to gain weight in general, right? Your priority is to gain weight and then gain muscle is second. With lean bulking, our priority is to, of course, gain weight, but we're gonna put building muscle first behind gaining all that excess fat that we don't need at all whatsoever. So keep that in mind. What kind of food should I be eating? Foods that are fattier. So, for example, chicken thighs, red meats, pork chops, salmon, peanut butter, any kinds of nuts, milk, etc., etc. There's a wide list of foods that are fattier, that are higher in calorie that you should consider eating since you are bulking. But all that to say, these foods, look up recipes for them. Definitely give yourself, excuse me, a fighting chance to be on your bulk and not fall off track of it, right? So look up recipes that are easy to make, easy to cook, that takes 20 minutes or less, or at the bare minimum 30 minutes or less, kind of the sweet spot there. So this way you just don't plop on your plate chicken thighs with little to no seasoning with some sort of veggie and white rice, because that's not appetizing at all. And it's not going to be enjoyable for you at all whatsoever. So look up foods, look up recipes, make those recipes, meal prep if you have to. Do whatever works best for you given your schedule. Secondly, cheat meals is something that should not be taken out completely. In my opinion, it should be something that's viewed as a tool under your tool belt opposed to something that is just, completely cut out from your bulking phase. I think it's really great to incorporate cheat meals here and there. Nothing crazy, of course, because you want to make sure you don't eat thousands of calories above your surplus or above your maintenance calories. Um, but every now and then is completely fine. If anything, it's going to get to a point where you get tired of eating the foods that you're eating on a day-to-day basis during your lean bulk. And so this is where cheat meals is going to come in essentially really handy for you, right? Because you can swap out one of your meals for a cheat meal and it makes things a lot more enjoyable, sustainable most importantly, and you won't feel like, you're bored of eating the same shit every day, right? Because you're mixing it up here and there. Side note though, just make sure that your cheat meal does include some sort of protein in place, because a lot of people, when they say or when they hear cheat meal, they think donuts, ice cream, different kind of sweets, which is fine if that's what is appetizing for you for a cheat meal, and it does contain like a handful amount of protein, so like 5 to 10 grams of protein. But what I mean by this, just make sure it includes protein. I mean like at least 30 grams or above worth of protein. So, for example, foods like this would be, burgers, hot dogs, um, probably 2 hot dogs, because one hot dog I think is like 12, 11 to 13 grams of protein. I think. Don't quote me on that. I think. So, burgers, hot dogs, fried chicken, if you like fried chicken. Um, so, yeah, those are kind of the cheat meals off the top of my head. But make sure there's some good protein. Um, so that way you are actually meeting your protein goals as well, and you're not, essentially ignoring that. As far as protein goes, last point here for this slide, make sure that you're eating 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight that you weigh. So if you weigh 160, make sure you're hitting 160 grams of protein on a day-to-day basis. So this way, your body can use this protein to repair, to rebuild itself, especially after the beating that you give it inside of your training sessions. So make sure you're meeting your protein goals as well, not only your calorie goals. Do I have to weigh myself? Yes, but it's just once per week. It's nothing crazy, not every day. So keep that in mind. Ideally, you want to weigh yourself first thing in the morning after you've pooped and peed, and you're in your underwear, so that way you can get the most accurate reading. Because sometimes when we have clothes on, there's depending on, I guess, what you wear, sweatpants, jeans, whatever, right, and a shirt, that can sometimes add on like a pound or two extra to what we already currently weigh, right? Maybe a pound or two is a little over exaggerated because clothes don't weigh that much, but you just want to make sure you get the most accurate reading. So definitely make sure you're in your underwear, and after you're done doing your necessities in the morning, you immediately weigh yourself. So make sure not to drink any water, not to consume any food, nothing like that. By weighing ourselves, though, we can see if we're gaining weight, if we're not gaining weight, or if we're just maintaining, or if we're losing weight. So that way we can adjust as we best see fits, right? So if we are not gaining any weight, then we need to bump up the calories a little bit more. If we're losing weight, then we definitely need to bump up the calories even more. If we're not gaining weight in general, or if we are gaining weight, sorry, then that means what we're doing is good, right? The amount of food that we're eating is good, and we're going to keep on that track until we eventually hit a plateau. And once we hit that plateau, we'll add some more calories, and that should get us out of that plateau. But as you can see, this is why it's important to weigh yourself once per week, so this way you can see kind of how you're progressing and see if you are on the correct path, on that linear path upwards trend of gaining the weight that you need to gain to reach your end goal for the bulking phase that you're doing. How long should I bulk for? Ideally 12 to 16 weeks. If you can do more, go for it. I just know past a certain point, maybe around the 6 month mark. Everyone is different though. Sometimes people are tired after the full 16 weeks of a bulking phase. Sometimes people are tired after 6 months of a bulking phase. Hell, sometimes even people are tired after a year long bulk, right? And that sounds crazy to say, but there are people who do it for a year long. The most I've ever bulked for is 8 months. And I mean, it definitely helped, but it gets to a point where you're just tired. You're physically, mentally tired, and your body just needs a break. And it's going to get to a point where you hit a brick wall. And if you just keep trying to plow through that brick wall, doing what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, the eating, the training, the rest and recovery, you're not gonna see any benefits from doing that, right? Because essentially you're just hitting your head on that brick wall, and you're not gonna get past it. So sometimes you need a break after the 4 month, after the 16 weeks are done. Sometimes you need a break, after 6 months, whatever it is, right? So the break could look anywhere between 1 to 2 weeks. It just really depends on exactly it is that you feel like your body needs and what you feel like your mind needs as well. So if there's anything I could give for you in terms of advice, in terms of this specific slide, throughout those 12 to 16 weeks, be super, super consistent with everything. Your training, your eating, your recovery as well. So this way you get to see the most results within that time frame, right? Because you don't want to half-ass shit. You don't want to half-ass your eating, your training, or recovery. You want to be super dialed in with everything. You want to make sure you're doing everything to the T. Obviously, we're not perfect. We're only human. But at least recognizing that there are some things that are inside of our control, like our training, our eating, our recovery, and doing the best that we can to optimally dial in those things so that way we can start seeing the results that we want to see inside our fitness journey. Of course, if you get sick or anything like that, that's outside of our control, and there's not really much we can do there outside of just, resting up, recovering, and then hitting it hard again, with with training, with eating and recovery after we feel better, right? So keep that in mind. Be super consistent. Don't just, as I said, half-ass it. Actually, be intentional with everything, and work your ass off. So it's not forever. It's just for 4 months, 16 weeks. That covers it for the video for today, though, guys. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Please comment down below if this video helped you out. If there's something else that you want to see, particularly in terms of video content. Other than that, though, one more time, if you are someone who's looking for one-to-one coaching, the link for it will be down below in the description. So definitely go through that. Other than that, though, much love to you all. Take care and peace. Till the next one.